There is a gentleman over here. I don't know if he's around here. His name is Oswald Anunda Daga. Can you please come and identification that has actually that have encouraged cyber.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Oswald. I'm the CEO of Floodgates Limited. Due diligence, KYC, and AML regulations are really central to the way in which banks are supposed to provide services to their customers. And it also goes a long way to identification, even being able to sign up, onboarding issues and all of that. So what we have done, entire model of identity, and we have been able to build an identity model which runs on identity authorities that currently exist and connects to additional information that allows banks to make decisions easier and faster. And is able to even take, probably having to fill in 4 pages of KYC information, probably wait about 30 minutes to an hour to have information verified, to doing all of this in less than 30 seconds. And so we believe that an adoption of such as an ecosystem increases problems with identity verification, KYC issues, and being able to ensure that a lot of to do. So firstly, an issue of third-party identification that is collected when you are doing deposits and transactions. And a lot of people do not carry ID cards around, verification that also exists. Basically, is to sign up a person on an ecosystem currently that once the person is on this ecosystem, their biometric information is collected. And this biometric information is collected and tied to their biometric information is collected and tied to their ID cards, national ID cards, voters ID cards, passports, all of that is tied together. This is also tied to their address locations, which information which is verified. They also receive and those have this identity trust score. How well you are able to trust a person's identity when this identity has been submitted to you. So once you are within the ecosystem, and currently we are building out this ecosystem, National Information Technology Agency. We also have ARB Apex Bank on to about 6 million different so once we have tied together and build out an ecosystem of identity and authentication, so that I can fidelity and with a simple scan of my fingerprint, all of this identity, and then go to another institution and do this. And once we have all, even do better credit scoring and be able to rely on information that has been provided to us. Recommend the ecosystem approach to solving the identity that we currently have on here. Thank you.
One last question, and very briefly. If I'm at Fidelity Bank and they have all these, the data, my identification data, can someone at FBN, for instance, be able to access this to ensure that them plus my data or my credit history is all right?
Is built customer first. And so we have the premise that the customer owns their own data, and I decide who I want to share it with. So we do not pull data to create this identity model. We enroll the customer as a new person on the system who has control of his own information. But for every institution that is currently available within the other universities joining this ecosystem, so that wherever you go, your smartphone device or your USSD device serves as the source of information that you are able to share to everyone. Yes, so any institution can actually access this. All banks can actually access this information, regardless of which institution they were enrolled at. You are capable of having.
All right. Coffee break. I was having a chat with Oswald and startups and how they can leverage on, financing from in you. And even though Oswald spoke, and then the next question, the person who's ready with the question will.
Yes, on financing for startups, there are two things I want to talk about. I would want to ask about the frameworks that are available or that are being put in place, and then also talk about crowdfunding and how far crowdfunding has been able to go in that. There were notices last year from the SEC talking about framework for crowdfunding in Ghana, and then this year issued a notice on crowdfunding and an intention to work together with the SEC to you can have a good project, $10-20 million, and to be able to run to technology platform crowdfunding, which is debt, equity, donations, and rewards. Donations-based crowdfunding has been going on, and in Ghana, we're able to raise even up to $55,000 on in a day. To be weeks ago, we even had about 2 of them, really more than 150,000 US dollars. And most of these funds were REMI, which is an American platform, and it's not Ghanaian. So even though we don't have those platforms here in Ghana, we do have people here who understand and are able to use these platforms to actually. It's one of the ways that we can be able to finance startups or to be able to raise investment for who can contribute 5 CDs, 10 CDs, and in the end, you have so much in there that is available. When we talk about funding for startups, it's when it comes to debt financing, equity crowdfunding, it also gives people an opportunity to be able to invest themselves into have very high growth and then give massive returns. And so somebody puts in recently Coin went public, and then people made about 20 to 200 million profit on their investments that they made. And because we understand how easy it is to be able to scale digital infrastructure, to be able to scale digital solutions across Ghana and even to other countries as well, it is one of the areas that people are concerned about. And I, as a startup founder, has even attempted seeing how the framework in Ghana, okay, yeah, problem, solve this problem. This is what I have, and this is where I can put this amount faster. And secondly, I can also be able to give other people the opportunity to help us to push it further. But in Ghana, we realized that there weren't a lot of opportunities. Most of the people that we spoke to were external organizations, fund managers from Scandinavia who were willing to put in money, people from the US, UK who were willing to put in 500,000, 1 million, 2 million pounds. I realized that this does not benefit the Ghana. But if we are able to raise those funds within Ghana, we grow our company and then the returns come to Ghanaians. But we currently do not have a very strong framework for that. which is something that I think that we need to look at based on the investment in the investment sector, also allow us to be able to let people pool their resources together. And the expertise is there. The technology is there to build a crowdfunding website. I mean, my company can build a crowdfunding website within and working and ready. Sometimes we feel like probably the regulators, the assistance and help problem across board. Thank you.
Wonderful. Would you want to say something briefly, and then I'll go to the audience, please?
Actually, I think it's just a pity the regulator is not here, because he's hit the nail right on the head. The regulator is even still, I don't think they've completed guidelines around capital. It's them that they really need to accelerate, and he's spot on. The framework is very weak, and then since somebody like me, I want to just help 50. Indeed, I'll be part of the shareholding stake, big company. This is my stake in it. I'm not set, and the message is getting to them. Accelerate it, and I think this is the two main regulators, both the SEC and the central bank. That's where this plays in their space. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please.